there's this other story. I know it's hypothetical right now, but if you were allowed for some reason to run for a third term, is there a thought that the Democrats could try to run Barack Obama against you?
I'd love that.
For his third term?
Boy, I'd love that. That would be a good one. I'd like that. No, people are asking me to run, and there's a whole story about running for a third term. I don't know. I never looked into it. They do say there's a way you can do it, but I don't know about that. But I have not looked into it.
Okay, there is no way you can do it because there's a little thing called the Constitution of the United States.
I'm going to have to stop you there.
Is there a way you can do it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll talk about that. All right. And number two, this idea that he's never looked in it. Look, my initial thinking is if that question is put in front of me, given that the Constitution is there, that says 22nd Amendment says you can't, that you got 2 terms, that you would say, no, the Constitution doesn't allow it and we'll move on. But that was his answer. So what say you, sir? So tell us how it can be done.
It can be done because the text of the Constitution, text of the 22nd Amendment, would allow him not to be elected president. It says no person shall be elected more than twice to the office of president, and no person shall be elected more than once if he or she served more than 2 years of someone else's term. But it doesn't say you can't serve a third term. So what could happen is he could be elected vice president. And what could happen is that whoever was at the top of the ticket could then disclaim the office, in which case Trump would not have been elected. He would have been elected vice president, but acceded to the office. Or that person who is elected president could resign on 12/01 on January 20th. And there is literally nothing in the Constitution to prevent that. And this has been written about by law professors in the past before the Trump era. And the fact of the matter is, I read one of those articles today, and the text is pretty clear, and actually the legislative history is even worse, because the legislative history of the 22nd Amendment shows that the original drafts actually prohibited holding and serving a third term. And for some reasons have nothing to do with this current situation, which I don't think they were thinking about. They changed it to elected. And so a literal meaning of the Constitution, which I believe in, and I've discussed it with one of the more, Larry Tribe agrees with this. They could pull this stunt, and in which case the whole hypothetical about Barack Obama could be made true too. I could run as president, and Barack Obama could run as my vice president. I'd have to register as a Democrat, and then I could say, oh, I don't want to serve, and President Obama could serve a third term. So you could theoretically have it. It's completely insane, but it's legally possible.
So I need to put something a little extra in my cup next time I talk to you about this issue, because that just really took